In this video, we will be showing how Clayton County Fire and Emergency Services will be doing our NFIRS reports, which is the fire reports that we do on every call that we run. And this will be in our new ImageTrend software. So of course we'll log in using the orange sign-in screen at the station computers, agree to the privacy statement, which we will always do. And all fire reports will be under Incidents and View Existing Fire. So our CAD is automatically filling in all of our reports into this section. As the calls happen, they are getting updated, and so all of our calls will be listed here. If CAD is not functioning and this is not populating, you can click on New and start a new blank report from this section as well. But since it is populating, we're going to go ahead and click on this button here to open our report in a new tab. This way it's easy to go back to the list and see other reports that we may need to finish. So here's our report. We always need to make sure we have a date, of course. It's already filled in from CAD, and the run number as well. So we can go ahead and start with the incident type. Incident types are the same as they've always been. These are NFIRS reports. It's a federal standard. So if we have a 321, then we can use those codes. We have updated our 321 codes a little bit. We are now having a 321-1, which we're going to call a level 1 call, meaning it only needed one of our units. Such as a sick call. A 321-2 means it's going to be a level 2 call, and that means that the dispatch required 2 units to go, and we still have our 321 in. We can click on that call. In addition, if you know some of your other report types, such as a 111 structure fire or any of the other codes, those are still applicable. As in everything else in ImageTrend, you can click on this button and you'll see a list of all the codes on the left side there. So if we know we're doing a service call, you can click on the service call and break it down. We know we were dealing with a water problem and their water heater was leaking, so we'll do a 522 water leak. Or if we know that we were going on a good intent call and there was nothing found, it was the wrong location, so we arrived on scene, there was nothing there, we could use that code. Or if there was steam coming off the roof on a cool morning, then we could use steam thought to be smoke. So any of those will do. You can still search, so we can type our invalid assist, and there's our invalid assist. Or if it's a burning complaint, you can type in that as well. So unauthorized burn or authorized burn. If it's an unauthorized burn, you'll get an extra field, or we can come in here and type in the violation number. Hopefully you issued them that violation warning, and you can type in the number that was on that. If you didn't, it's still a required field, so fill something in like zeros, but hopefully you gave them that violation notice. If you're having a hard time finding the right one, such as maybe there's a tree down in the road, what's the right code for that? Oh, I'm not sure. We will be in station forms. You'll be able to find a document that's called the NFIRS reference guide. I have trimmed this down from the full NFIRS copy, and you can scroll down and find all the incident codes and find the right code with an explanation of what it is that you're looking for. I've also added some notes for things that are a little bit different for us, such as those 321 codes that we're now using, or other suggestions. Wires down there, not power lines, we use 4441, and also some other notes such as the trees. So if you want to search for that, you can go up to the edit menu and do find, and you can search for the word tree, and when you hit next, you'll see, okay, here's tree, and now helps us find that we can use the code 460 for a tree in the road. So now I can close this, I can just type in 460 for a potential accident with that tree being in the road. So let's go back to our 321 call. We're going to say this is a level 2 call, that it required 2 people. And we did our usual, the station area. We'll just say whose first in area was this. We'll say this was Station 11's area. Primary action taken. We can still, again, click on our options here in our EMS, and we got a refusal signed. So if there's additional actions, such as if it was, we also can fill in as many other additional options as well. So we also provided BLS support additional choices. Pick our shift, respond to an emergency, and then we can move on to the next section. Location type, so it's usually going to be a street address. You'll notice that the land, lot, and district is just like it is in EMS with our new using letters for the districts. A for 13, B is 12, C is 5, D is 6, and District 4 is E. So we'll continue to use those same numbering schemes. City limits will fill in based on the cities, or if it's unincorporated, so make sure that those are filled in as well. Our address is all filled in. So now we can scroll on down and hit next to go to the next section, which is times. This is a good time to look in our apparatus section, which is all the units on this call. You'll see this is accessed by this button in the bottom right hand corner here for apparatus. So we'll click on that and see what needs to be finished. Since we don't have our scheduling software set up yet, we're going to need to add all the people manually, unfortunately, for a little while. So we'll come in here and we can click a few people. You can type in their name and that one. So we'll do the same thing for engine 4. Add personnel. We'll add Chief Sweat, Chief Grimaldi, and we'll throw Book 1 on there as well. Med 11, I'm going to edit personnel as well. We'll just pick 2 people here real quick and hit save. Med 11 is still not complete for some reason. This is something important that you'll want to notice as well. Anytime that there is no arrival time, in other words that unit was canceled, you'll need to come up here to the primary action taken and click this first button that says cancel en route. That's a NFIRS requirement. We can't get around that, so you have to come in and say canceled en route, hit save. So all our units are now clear. We'll hit OK, back to our times, and we're ready to go to the next section again. Property use, it's the same usual codes. If you remember these, again, standard NFIRS codes. 419 for single family home, 429, you can type in APT if you don't remember the 429, or again you can search for the codes for any other property type like a fire station or whatever. So we'll stick with 419. Person entities involved, this is where we'll do our fluids on the ground. We'll talk about that more of that later. Some other information that's required on fire reports, so let's keep moving on for this particular call. Back to our narrative. This is a regular old narrative, and so on and so forth. Not much to say about that. Additional narratives, if additional people took command, this is where someone else can come in and say, Pat 1 assumed command, and go ahead and do that. So you hit lock narrative, and that will add that one to it as well. So now each person can have their narrative, each person taking command. We'll move on and hit next to our report authorizations. So officer in charge, I'll go ahead and put myself for that. And if I am also the member making the report, I can hit same as officer in charge, and that completes this report. And you'll see at the bottom my score is 100, and so I'm all complete with this report. So now that I'm finished, I can hit close. It's going to ask me, do you want to mark this as finished? I want to say yes, so that the battalion chiefs will know to go pass that along to the next phase, and the report will close out. And you'll see at the top that I now have 2 tabs, so I can just close this first tab, and I'm back to the original list where I started. So that way if I had filtered or looked for anything else, it's going to be right back where I was. And that is the completion of a NFIRS fire report in ImageTrend.